Hey everybody, I'm sorry it's been so long since I've been able to post another episode. I've been dealing with probate and trying to grieve. I went out of town by myself this weekend because I'm one of those type of people that likes to be by themselves when they grieve. But this episode's going to be a little bit more spiritual than the other ones are. Usually I tell you things like things you can do with your loved one if you're a caregiver to help pass the time and keep what memory they have, how to diffuse situations with them if they get upset, things they can use to make life more simple on them. But today's episode is going to be focused more on the caregiver themselves. Now, this is just a hypothetical scenario that God put in my brain to share with people because there's a way that you can also gain healing through this situation for yourself. Okay, so I usually don't like to read off anything, but I typed this out because I didn't want to forget anything. I want to try to help someone that may be in this situation. So today's episode will be about caregiving and healing. I've always had the most amazing relationship with my parents, so this is hypothetical. What can you do to help heal a toxic relationship if you find yourself in the position of caring for someone who has treated you badly for years? I've seen what I'm about to describe for you in action, but it changed the scenario just to use as an example. Let's say you have a couple, Bob and Ann. They've been married for years, but they were from a time when divorce wasn't accepted as it is now. Bob was an awesome husband, dad, and provider through their entire marriage. He was the constant. Ann was never good to Bob and didn't appreciate what she had. He was the one that made the living, helped with the kids and their homework, took them to their soccer games, ballet practice. He was the one that showed care and compassion when one of the kids fell and scraped their knee, prepared dinners and school lunches. He was the one that taught them about God and how to treat others fairly. Where was Ann during this time, you may ask? Ann had been emotionally and physically absent a lot of the time. She was fine letting Bob do all the heavy lifting while she partied, stepped out of their marriage more times than it could be counted. When she was at home, it was like a tornado of emotional instability on her part. She didn't mother her children. She never said, "I love you," much less show affection. All she brought to the table was discord and a haze of alcohol. After several years of this, she would disappear for months at a time. So Bob decided to be content, raising his children to be godly and productive adults. Years later, she came back and promised that she had changed and wanted to make a fresh start. Bob was real reluctant at first, but he had taken their marriage vows seriously and took her back. Shortly after, she began to get forgetful. She would forget where she was. She wouldn't remember her family some of the times, people's names. Bob just chalked it up to all those days of hard partying and hard living catching up to her. He finally made an appointment with her doctor, and after a battery of tests, she was given the diagnosis of dementia. Bob had to make a decision, and here's where this comes in. Should he care for her after all of the awful things she had done to their family, or should he put her in a nursing facility during a pandemic when he nor their kids could physically be with her? He had lived with the hurt of all the horrible things she had done to them and their kids. He prayed and decided to show compassion to her. He wanted their kids to know their mother before her memory faded away, so he put his own feelings aside. He tried to remember the sweet girl he had met and fallen in love with all those years before. He knew if there were at least a sliver of this woman left, he wanted not only for their kids to create new memories with her and maybe gain some healing for himself. Bob had empathy and took care of her every need. He showed her the love that she had never exhibited to them. As Anne's memory slowly faded, she realized her family was caring for her. The selfish, hurtful person she had been became replaced with a loving, caring side. There was almost a disbelief that people she had hurt so deeply would do this for her. Bob carried deep hurt and resentment toward her, yet hid it well. So the point of this story is this: how can you forgive as God has forgiven us? During this time, if you are truly serious about digging deep and purging yourself of hurt, you can. Or you can stay irrevocably stuck and not be able to move on. There are some people that actually thrive on dysfunction and hurt and bitterness and harbor it in their heart. But as we age, their body ages forward, their minds age backwards, and they revert to a lot of the things from their childhood and their younger days. And so they may remember hurting you so bad and be kind of in disbelief that you would show such compassion to them. So you have to ask yourself the question, am I willing to let all the hurt and bitterness go and make new memories with this person? Try to remember the person that they were before all the bad things happened. You can actually gain your healing from this. Make new memories. Find it in your heart to love and forgive. The memories of the hurt Anne had caused were forever erased. She no longer remembered the hurt she had caused. It was replaced with a person that was helpless and only had the people that she had hurt so badly in her life to care for her. Bob and the kids decided that to heal, they would be there for her the way she wasn't for them. They created new memories that she would soon not remember. Yet, at the same time, God was healing their scarred hearts. If you find yourself in a similar situation like this today, could you grant someone forgiveness that's hurt you to the core and free yourself of the albatross that stunted you so as to move on to a healthy, heart-healed person? Or would you choose to stay stuck and never find peace? Would you give back to someone that gave nothing to you? As Anne's brain continued to die, all the hurt she caused died with it. So when she's no longer here, will you continue to allow the hurt to control your life? Or do you choose to instead offer empathy and compassion as God showed to us when He gave His only begotten Son to die for people that didn't deserve it? We hurt God. We hurt Jesus. That we are the ones that caused the hurt. And so He showed compassion and love to us when we did not ourselves to deserve it. Remember, there was a time in all of our lives when we were the Anne in this story. If you're caring for someone that has mistreated you in the past, you can change the narrative. You can choose to forgive and make whatever time you have left to heal. And so that's what today's episode is about. Can you show someone the same compassion that God has shown each one of us? Through the pandemic, a lot of these families love their family members so well, and they have not been able to physically touch them. And can you just imagine in the mind of someone with dementia or Alzheimer's being in a nursing center, and there's a piece of plexiglass in between you and your loved one, and you can't even touch each other. You can't hug each other. You can't say, I love you. You don't know what kind of care they're getting. No one's going to care for your loved one like you can. Or would you rather care for that person yourself and know that they're getting everything they need, and you can hug them when you want to, you can work things out with them, because there's a real slim window in there to where, as they're reversing backwards in their mind, they begin remembering some of the hurts and things that they did and that they caused you. And it's like sometimes they look at you in disbelief, like, I can't believe you are doing this for me when I did so little for you. And that's the same way it was when Jesus died on the cross. We didn't do nothing to deserve His death and the shedding of His blood for our sins. He didn't know us. from Adam, not to be, no pun intended, but you can stay stuck in that. And some people like to stay stuck in that and just be miserable people. Or that time where they may become loving, and you can make new memories, and make it a happy thing and turn it around from something that was so horrible. Why would you not take that small window to uh, turn this mess into a message? Uh, so that's what I'm trying to talk to you about today. I never had that problem with my parents. I loved both of them. My sisters and I decided they would never be in a nursing center, and thank God we were true to that. Uh, we got to love on them all we wanted to, but this is just a hypothetical situation, because it's kind of like that movie Benjamin Buttons, where he's like aging back to a baby, but his brain is aging forward. So they can remember there's a time. So what do you choose to do with that time? Do you choose to just let it go, harbor resentment, do what you got to do? Or do you learn to love that person again, make new memories with them, uh, take that time and turn it into something? Make Bible bookmarks like I did with my mom. Make foam butterflies, play games with them, take pictures, take videos, and just anything you can do that when that person's gone, the the hurt and the bitterness is replaced by a newfound love. And that's what we have with God, thanks to Him sending His Son to die on the cross for us. He died for people He didn't even know. So, can you care for someone that you know that has hurt you? All Jesus heard was crucify Him, and they set Barabbas free. So, can you do that today? Can you be like God? Can you be like Jesus? Can you show compassion? Can you make the most of a bad situation? I've had to try to learn in my life to find a silver lining in everything, or it would drive me crazy. So, do you let it make you bitter? Or you can ask God and help it make you better. I choose to be better and not bitter. So I hope this has helped somebody today. I know it's not my usual thing when I'm talking about Alzheimer's, but I do believe that the caregivers, my motto is you can't take care of someone until you take care of yourself first. So I hope you'll take this to heart. And if you're in this situation, really think about this hard, because while you're taking care of them, you can actually gain your healing in the process. So it's a win-win situation. You're taking care of someone that can't take care of themselves, but you're also gaining your healing by reversing and making new memories with this person. So I hope this helps someone today. I hope everybody has a great week. I'm going to try not to let it be so long before I do another episode, but just been real wrapped up, real busy here lately, and went back to work part-time. So uh, I'll get back on here as soon as I can. I hope everybody has a great day, and just think about what I said. Uh, Take care of yourself, and I want you to take care of yourself and your mental being, and take time for yourself. Go get coffee. There's a lot of respite care out there that are paid for by grants, that they'll come stay a couple of hours with your loved one and let you go get coffee or run errands, whatever you need to do. If you have any questions, please ask me. I would just really love to know that I'm helping someone. So everybody have a great day, and I will talk to you as soon as possible. Bye-bye.